Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Jessica Clemons, and Lord have mercy on all of us. Episode 5 of Gen V is absolutely insane. Somehow, each episode gets wilder than the last, and this one is peak The Boys chaos in the most best way possible. But Jesus Christ, give me a break. I need to breathe. I'm horrified. I'm entertained. I'm completely enthralled. So let's just break it all down together, find every hidden detail and Easter egg, and collectively scream about what just happened. But first, make sure to check out nerdriot.shop where you can find the latest and greatest in New Rockstars merch. Right now, we got some Godolphin University merch, and God, who really needs some God U merch at this point? Well, you needed to rep it, but also I ain't support. I don't know. I can't. After this episode, wear it, burn it, whatever you want to do. We also have some Wayland Yutani Corp merch. You can get it because Predator Badlands is also still coming out, so maybe you can cross over. You know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. Just go get some merch. All right, now let's get into it. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes launching your own website a breeze. Episode 5 is titled The Kids Are Not All Right, which yes, they're not, because spoilers, they'll end up back at Elmira, and to be honest, God, you kids never are really like all right. Are they really? Like, let's really break it down, because one of them is traumatized, a couple of them are hurting themselves, some are half alive, and one's being used like a pawn. So really, were they ever okay? We opened on Cipher in his garden 1 month ago. He's already been established at God U as the new dean at this point. The song playing is Mozart's Violin Sonata number 21, which, like Cipher states, is actually one of Albert Einstein's favorite songs. He clips a yellow daffodil, which is funny enough because a yellow daffodil can represent new beginnings, rebirth, and hope, to which we know he's after following his discussion with Sage that we see later.
I wanted to. It'll speed up the process because you're running out of time.
Godolphin is in pain and needs Marie to fix him. I don't know how he's been stable this long, but with Marie to make him maybe whole again and not in that hyperbaric chamber, maybe he's looking for new beginnings, rebirth into his old husk, and seeking hope that they will overrun the world with soups and wipe out humans. And we'll come back to this Vought nationalism later. In the fridge, he's got jars of applesauce, this Ensure-looking drink. It's actually called NutriShake, which is a real protein supplement formulated to increase protein and fiber in your diet, which now, but I think about it, makes sense why he suddenly had to take a shit last episode. Ensure and applesauce are also just easy foods to eat for someone who's sick and can't be dropping weight. They have a consistent morning routine, as we see, and then we get a sweet surprise. It's Sister Sage. She's always helping some big bad with some long drawn out plan. It's not surprising Sage finds a connection with Cipher if Cipher is Godolphin, seeing as he's very, very smart. They're probably a great, weird, disgusting match for each other. As we know, Sage is from Detroit, and they've always got her rocking some form of Michigan garb. This is a Stroh's beer shirt, an American lager, where they began in 1850 in Detroit, Michigan. They go back and forth about Einstein being a racist.
Einstein was a racist.
Racist? Mm-hmm. He was under surveillance by the FBI for his civil rights activities.
He hated Chinese people. Just because he fought for my team doesn't make him not a racist.
Some quick research does indeed reveal that Einstein was racist against Asian people, but later in life, he also did advocate for civil rights, calling racism a disease for white people, so he contains a multitude of contradictions. As we see, Sage gifted him the gnome that got f***ed last episode, and we instantly know Godolphin is absolutely Cipher because Sage is looking at him while banging Cipher. She's covering his eyes because she doesn't want to see him. She wants to look into the eyes of the man she loves. She's really just banging Cipher's body, but Godolphin's mind is in there. This feels disgusting because we later learn that Jordan felt Cipher in their body. So this man, whoever this guy is, that's assault. When he comes to, this is assault. Back in present day, this reporter is trying to use talking points of people who are against trans athletes, which is, you know, insane. When they enter the locker room, the first posters that we see are on either side of the doors. It says unsafe spaces for the fight and keep up the good work with good old Homelander. How ironic. Jordan describes what it was like when Cipher was in control of their body, and if Cipher is indeed a vessel for Thomas Godolphin's consciousness, this person inside has been suffering for years, at least since Marie was born and that photo was taken, and that's insane to think about. Hearing Jordan hurt also like this, I swear, when I get my hands on you, Cipher, when I catch you, Cipher, I'm gonna choke him out. Oh my God, that poor actor's gonna have to run from me. No one affects Jordan like this. I like that Cipher was asking Marie to describe how it felt using her powers.
So what was that like for you? Your powers heightened, stronger than they've ever been. Terrifying, I'm sure, but also exhilarating.
And he was straight up just diagnosing her like a doctor, like a lab experiment, like he wants to be doing in the gladiator class. Kate is now getting her comeuppance for landing the others at Elmira and indirectly causing Andre's death, but this is a very rough scene to watch. I never wanted it to go this far. We're seeing the protocol the other four must have gone through when arriving to Elmira. They remove her wig and her arm and everything and then treat her like a damn monster. And as you can see, they got this kind of inhibitor collar like the one they have in X-Men, and Kate knew what it was before it even went on her neck. Although this is Elmira, the guards are wearing badges on their sleeves because they work for Voss Global Wellness Center, which was established as a therapy service to assist Supes. However, they do manage Elmira as well, I guess. Groundhog was sent here for his alcoholism and anger issues, Termite was sent here after he killed a man during a cocaine overdose, and Supersonic and Webweaver were both sent to the Global Wellness Center for their drug addictions. Kate then passes 3 people in Elmira as well, a man with powers we don't know yet, someone with horns, and a blue girl that looked kind of like Nightcrawler. We should all take note of these prisoners because I guarantee they will be released or escape eventually. Sam goes back to his family home in a well-off, picturesque suburban neighborhood that resembles New Jersey or Connecticut. He's also wearing a Celtics jersey later on, so it could be Boston, but then he's wearing an Iowa shirt later. You get it, it's just a suburb. Inside their fridge, Sam reaches for a can of Big Game Cola. Big Game was a Supe we met in season 1. He was the one talking to A-Train about running through Robin. We don't know much about that Supe, but in the comics, he was the leader of the Teenage Kicks, and he was kind of like Nightwing. His dad is super excited to see him, but his mom is a little standoffish, and it's maybe because he literally ripped the door off its hinges. Also, they look exactly like Sam or the actor's actual mom or dad would look like. Maybe it's just because they got those deep blue eyes that scare the shit out of me. Marie wants to rescue Kate, but the others take a little bit more convincing. In these conversations, we see just how poorly Jordan sees themselves, how much they hate feeling weak. Something this season has really been showing us how Jordan uses their form to switch to feel more comfortable or more in control in certain situations. So in moments where they can't punch or kick or blast their way out, that feeling of weakness hits even harder. I love Jordan. I am team Emma. Emma is my favorite character, but Jordan is really taking it this season. Oh, my baby. We see how Marie got out after killing Hershey Henry, but we'll later learn how they were already prepared preemptively for these kids to arrive, so the rescue mission goes belly up. Back with Sam, he's eating the limited edition Voss cereal, the Deep Choctopus Puffs, and watching Avenue V again. That name is disgusting, and I know it's a play on something else. You know how vampires need to be invited in? That's kind of how like the potential customers with websites work. Not that they're gonna suck your blood or anything, but if your website offers any barrier to entry or is at all difficult to use, nobody's gonna stick around to find out how great your product or service actually is. You can remove those hurdles and make your website more inviting by using Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one tool that gives you everything you need to make a website that looks good and does whatever you need it to do. If you're selling goods or services, Squarespace can help you untangle digital payment platforms with just a few clicks, making it easy to start receiving payments right away using popular payment methods like Apple Pay, ACH Direct Debit, Klarna, and more. If you're not a graphic designer, don't worry. Squarespace's design intelligence tool makes it so easy to get your website looking just right. It combines 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology. Every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions and auto-generated sitemap and more, so you show up more often to more people in global search engine results. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/newrockstars to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. When Emma gets Sam on the phone to ask for his help in saving Kate, I don't think we talked much about her room. Her literal Barbie clothes for when she gets small, her Squishmallows on the bed, her Queen Maeve poster, and Big Crazy Love 2 poster. Big Crazy Love 2 was Termite's romantic comedy, as you should know. No one knows, no one cares about Termite. Now ready to go on their mission, I love this scene. Jordan offers Marie the keys and she's like, I never got my license. And this is a real thing for a lot of kids who grew up in New York, never getting their license. Marie, you know, has the added part of growing up in a children's home, which I'm sure is also a part of this too, but the New York altogether as well. Just a note, this may be the same car gifted to Jordan by the school in episode 3. I can't make out the exact model of the car, but they look identical. Once back at the school, we're with Polarity and Cipher and his servant or assistant, whatever she is. She's a human worker just like his guard, and I can't tell whether he's controlling them or he's like having human slaves work for him. He later asks Polarity if he wants a human, which feels like what you would say for a pet or a slave. So, In a recent interview, the actor playing Cipher discussed how in Gen V his character is in charge of the university overseeing the creation of this elite superhero race. So it's not just out of ambition to see if he can do it, he wants to make Supe nationalists. And what's crazy is that like Sister Sage, they see humans as pets or animals. That's why most of the workers on campus are actually human, and he makes them go through a crazy side entrance thinking of them as pets or slaves. The actress playing Najin is actually Najin Kamali, who is an assistant behind the scenes on Gen V, so this also feels a little too layered for my liking. I hope you guys treat her well. Cipher once again is having a shake for lunch that's probably filled with the most disgusting things that we've seen him put in it before. All this while Polarity gets a Wagyu steak. The shake plus Cipher stabbing himself in the hand in a moment is more reassurance that this dude is definitely a hollowed out vessel for Godolkin's consciousness. It's a given at this point, this man is crazy. Cipher Cipher tells Polarity his background.
My work is the accumulation of years and years of research, mostly observing soups, accepting their powers as they are, not reaching through to what might be. Disappointing, really. So much wasted potential.
Which is precisely what Goldokin has been doing. The reaching part feels very on the nose, seeing as he's able to reach in and take over people's bodies. Then to make things extremely meta, when Polarity asks what Marie has to do with all this and how she's going to change the world, he responds,
We'll just have to tune in next week to find out, won't we?
So we're gonna learn what she's capable of at the very end of this episode, but we'll find out exactly how Marie will change the world with it next week, because that's how this show works. Pulling our strings. Cipher tells Polarity that he pushed Andre to the limit and that's how he died, which could exactly be the case. Them sealing the wall that Andre believed could have been their exit could have been Cipher's doing to see what he was capable of, and he died in the process. Like Cipher said, there are cameras everywhere. He knows everything, he always knows, so he probably already knew they were trying to escape. Cipher mentions jumping onto a call then with Dana White.
I've got a Zoom with Dana White. Hey. That's how big that fight really was.
Dana White is the head of the UFC, so I guess he really just liked Jordan and Marie's fights. He's gonna start making soups do it in an arena, which is a bad idea. Why would you do that? The effort Polarity just expended causes his hand to shake, and this dude can't even use his powers a little bit without it taking a toll on him. Also, in this shot of his hand shaking, the cup says Voop Bistro, which I think is just a play off Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop Kitchen. Goop, where you can get your bone broth and sue people for skiing accidents. Back with Sam, his old room is just storage for his dad's golf clubs. It's like when you move out of your parents' house and go to college and your parents turn your room into a storage nest and they put the exercise bike and their like clothes that they don't want on top of it. That's all in this shot. We see Sam and Luke's heights on a Homelander branded height chart. It dates back as far as 2005 that I can read. And the sad fact about this is that they're going from every month to almost a year apart, and it ends with Sam in October 2013 and Luke in December 2012. A reminder, Sam was admitted to Sage Grove as a teenager, but as a kid, he had a wonderful childhood. So these sporadic times were probably just at moments when Sam's schizophrenia or his illness were just at its worst. And stopping at 2013 and Luke never measuring afterwards, I think just shows that Luke might have just been doing this to keep Sam happy. We learned through Sam's dad that Voss straight up told them that Sam was dead. Then they lost Luke and just believed that both their sons were dead until they saw Sam on the news, and Voss said it was a misidentification of the body they said was Sam's. And then when they requested to see him, Voss told them that Sam didn't want to talk to them, which kind of feels like a big lie, but maybe it is just a long drawn excuse and we just gotta move past it. He then goes off on his mom and accidentally loses his temper, knocking his dad 50 feet back when his mother was just trying to order Cicero's pizza. God damn that Cicero's pizza. It's all their fault. Now with the gang back in Elmira, Emma says this.
You look like weird Barbie.
This is the first time Emma has seen Kate without her wig and compares her to Kate McKinnon's character in the Barbie movie. That's the one weird Barbie that every kid had, that they like to cut her hair and just her shit up all the time. I had that Barbie. We all had that Barbie. Don't act like you didn't. Cipher recognizes Sage as Madam Vought CEO. So Sage is the current Vought CEO. Back in season 4, episode 3, Homelander effectively appointed Sage as the new Vought CEO. Technically, Ashley was still the CEO, but more like a figurehead. Sage was the real puppet master then. In episode 7, Homelander fired Sage after lying to him about A-Train being the leak. And by the end of the season, she revealed to Homelander that setting up Singer and most of this plan, aside from the few hiccups, had always been her idea and execution, and we never actually saw her formally reinstated. Kripke told The Hollywood Reporter Gen V season 2 really picks up the world from where The Boys season 4 ended. You see how it evolves, you see what Starlight's new role is, for example, where Stan Edgar is, where Sage is. We get to play with these characters and sort of position them on a chessboard where we need them, so when season 5 begins, they're where we need them to be. So Sage seems to truly be the actual CEO of Vought going into season 5. What's also interesting is that this show, Gen V season 2, picks up after season 4 of The Boys, but in this episode's flashback 1 month ago, we don't know where Sage would have been yet. So we don't know at what point Sage actually met Cipher and this whole weird romance thing started to happen. That's another can of worms that we're gonna talk about though in this breakdown. Then Cipher and Sage have this discussion.
And I never took it for the corporate type, TBH.
Ashley Barrett certainly can't. Not in her state.
Last time we saw Ashley, she took Compound V, so between that and now, she's still under Vought's watchful eye. However, we learned she's clearly not in a decent state, but a good enough state to still hate Sage. The Sage and Cipher of it all is very weird, especially if Cipher is actually Godokin, which I'm assuming he is. Cipher is smart as hell, but Sage is the smartest person on the planet, so she gives him the assist here by finding Marie's sister and putting her in Elmira to motivate Marie to up her powers to the next level. Sage might have been the one who requested someone to even kill Annabeth at the end of this episode to see how far Marie could actually go to fix it. Cipher was going too slow, having her move blood bags in the gladiator room. Sage works so quickly. We've seen her do this in The Boys last season. So yeah, Sage probably was the one to set up Annabeth getting killed. Keep in mind, just flagging, we don't know a lot about Sage, but authentically we know that she uses lobotomies to chill herself out and she hates humans. She revealed the story about one person that she really loved, her grandmother, who died of stage 3 leukemia. Sage spent 3 days researching a cure at 11, and when she presented it to the doctors, they basically laughed her off and her grandmother died, and this event really kind of made her hate humans. Cipher also hates humans, but if it's true that he was part of the KKK frat and Sage's grandmother was an ex-Black Panther, it seems like she might be using him as well. This might not be a genuine romance is what I'm kind of trying to say. She used the Deep to manipulate him, exploiting his vulnerability, aka you can control the Deep through sex, it's not that hard. She even slept with Black Noir and he kind of fell in love with her. Sage is extremely cunning and always the smartest person in a room and knows exactly how to play people to her advantage. Whether or not Sage is just riding Godokin's coattails to the top before eliminating him, Sage, I assume, had known about him and Marie in her mid stages at Voss. When Sage was fired in episode 7, she left, but not before telling Homelander this.
Surround yourself with people like her, and you can systematically eliminate anyone who gets in your way, but there's one person you will never, ever defeat.
I think she was referring to Godokin, but at the time, I assumed she was talking about Ryan. In season 4, episode 5 of The Boys, she shows Tech Knight her journal of secrets, and he responds, Jesus fucking Christ, are you serious? And honestly, what kind of information in The Boys universe could genuinely shock Tech Knight? Think about it, a man who roleplayed as a detective with superhuman senses is capable of detecting everybody lying. Didn't know this? It's because this is a huge secret. We thought Sage was using Tech Knight for his prisons and political connections, but he may have an undying allegiance to Thomas Godokin's ideology. Most people assume Godokin is dead, so if Sage discovered he's actually Cipher, she could have used that information as leverage to get Tech Knight involved in something adjacent to, but bigger than Homelander's sort of public agenda. That is just a major theory. I'm really hoping Sage has a weird big plan here because I do hate and love her at the same time. With Polarity, he has another seizure, which we saw him have last season, and these are always dangerous as they cause the metal manipulation powers to just kind of spiral out of control. We learned Sam's mental health issues weren't actually caused by the V, they were genetic. This season, the Gen V kids are kind of learning that their parents had at least a little bit of good intentions giving their babies Compound V. Marie's parents used V because they couldn't get pregnant and wanted a baby, and Sam's parents used V in hopes that they could prevent him from being affected by the mental health issues that ran in their family. His brother Luke may have had the same issue as well. This is also where Marie and Emma admitted that they didn't just engage in cutting and purging to activate their powers, they wanted to do it regardless of their abilities. And then Kate's being resourceful as hell with that disgusting head staple, using it to sabotage her collar and get the keys from the security guard to free everyone. So earlier Cipher used Andre's death to manipulate Polarity, and now he's telling a slightly different story about Andre's death to manipulate Marie, because this dude is only good at manipulating people. Just like Sister Sage. We finally meet Annabeth, who is rightfully terrified of everything going on, but at the end of the episode it looks like the bad guys got to her first, but of course this was all a plan to see if Marie was capable of even doing it, bringing her back. It looks like her powers work by using some of the powers and life force of the people around her to heal the wounds to get the blood pumping again. However, if that's the case, how many people will die when saving like a less fresh victim or someone harder to bring back? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves before the next episode. And that's where episode 5 closes. It's insane. I just can't believe it. Okay, so we finally meet Annabeth, and my God, your sister resurrected you. I better not hear an ounce of complaining out of your mouth next episode. I swear to God, girl. Additionally, Sage and Cipher / Godokin are still a mystery to me. We can only assume the 3 are genuine lovebirds. Well, the 2. I'm gonna assume that Cipher is Godokin. I fully well believe that that is Godokin. So we can only assume the 2 lovebirds are genuine, and she's assisting him with Marie to save the Godokin body from death. It makes sense that he was probably appointed the new dean by Voss CEO Sage, so they definitely have known each other for at least a minute. Their timeline can get a little foggy, but it's guaranteed, at least to me, that she met Cipher first, then learned he was Godokin later. But they're also evading Homelander for a reason. She told him not to worry about Homelander, so like a deranged elephant, she's keeping him entertained enough to not fly off the handle after learning Thomas Godokin is back. I will flag that you know what's a horrible idea, Sage? Learning that Thomas Goldolkin is back, a man from a hyperbaric chamber because he was basically dying, came back because a girl could fix him. What does that mean for Soldier Boy? Will Homelander want to bring back Stormfront? See, Sage is smart, but she ain't invincible. She can still die. It's her brain that grows back. So this plan feels like a bad idea. She has to hope that Cipher stops Marie before it gets to Sage, and you better hope that Homelander just never finds it out. Then we got Marie, who can play Jesus, and that's just crazy to me. Rapture me, Marie. Take me away. You literally are gonna be repairing soups by the end of the 5th season of The Boys, and you better halt this ability so people don't see it, because now everybody wants a piece of that. Everybody wants to bring a human back, and we have someone that can do it. Comment down below your thoughts on episode 5, because I'm still reeling from it. I can't handle this. This is crazy. Why does the last 5 minutes of every episode sound like it's the craziest part in the world? I just can't handle it. Follow me at Lulu_Clemons, and a big thanks to Gina for helping me write this episode. We are both going crazy about this show. Subscribe to all the channels in the new Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.